it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
All right, Coach. First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Where are you? Pick your game. I think I'm 48.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. On 2nd down now, it's Lindsay. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
On 2nd and goal, Cousins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Set, hut. 54 flag. 54 Mike. Collins.
King now on 3rd and 2. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Cousins on 1st down. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number 1, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Screen pass to Lindsey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
The Dolphins take over first and
Here we go.
10
Here we go.
at their own
Here we go.
23-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, but it'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. They run with Edmonds. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Looking to throw. King. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
Now King, going to throw on 3rd and goal. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Now Lutz for the field goal try. And Lutz puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw, Cousins. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is King. A final shot before break. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Now it's Lindsey, and he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
That's good. For the Browns, first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Here's King on 1st and 10. And John Brown's got it complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That's good for 28 yards.
first and 10 at the 38-yard line.
On first and 10, it's Lindsey. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Echo. 59 Mike. 59 Mike.
To throw on second down. King, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Luke Kuechly able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. King throwing on third and long. And that is incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Malcolm Brown at $3 bills and some change comes in to drop the hammer. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing is Cousins. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. This one caught by Ridley. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards, the final tally. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let's go, defense.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 9-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. King now. From the gun, he'll throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd. Waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
You got nothing. Go.
On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. King. He's got a man. Complete. It's a big play there for the Browns. 42 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Back to throw. King. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now King, operating from the gun. And that will be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
He's airing it up and got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back to throw. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. They'll run back near midfield at the 49. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
And that one? Oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams, and there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Now Cousins. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Philip Lindsay, the intended target, but now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. One final shot. They'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering.
Our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin, saying so long, everybody.